Hostos Rico and Richella are here representing the Mexican nation with our stream ayuda de viva. Something like that. To help you live is what I mean to say. The stream that helps you live. Anyway, so we're here. Naturally, that means we're also queer and don't want any more bears.
Mm-hmm.
And
Meow.
I like that thumbnail. It's a good one. Okay, well, so far it's just me watching us, but that's better than nobody.
Yeah, I think so.
And with this title, we're sure to get some action. So I've gotten a little bit of pushback in the comments on my recent response to Club T.I. Polar's short. And hey,
Hey,
Cameron,
Cameron.
I was just thinking about you. I was wondering when you're gonna come up and visit us again.
Yeah.
But regardless, I did get some pushback on, and which is very reasonable kind of pushback that I got too. It's not like I have any objection to it. On the fact that, well, how could this guy have fooled you, Eric? You're any nom, and how could he have fooled you? Well, I mean, I don't blame people for critiquing me for that. Um, my explanation is he took advantage of uh, an exploit that was exploitable one time. All right, no problem, Cameron. Anytime.
Yeah, anytime.
Except around September 22nd.
Yes, except for.
We're going to a show on September 22nd out of town. We'll only be gone one night, but. So anyway, what happened there was, Club T.I. Polar put a lot of effort and energy into successfully gaming one not regular typing session using a lot of sort of FE pressure. Yeah, we're gonna go see Johnny. A lot of FE pressure, situational FE stuff, and other ways that and avoiding of certain questions, misdirecting me, redirecting me, etc. Should I have been susceptible to that? Well, maybe not, but I'm an SI user. To some extent, something has to happen once before I'm ready to defend against it. I tend to afford people the benefit of the doubt and assume they're operating on the level. This guy was doing everything in his power to game that one quote unquote typing session we had, which was not on my terms, it was on his terms. So yeah, I shouldn't have been fooled by that. I shouldn't have been manipulated or moved around like that. But I was. And that's the sort of thing that can happen to me one time. It's not like anybody can do that again. It also remains entirely unclear to me why anybody would want to do that. But I mean, the answer is as simple as this. He wants confirmation that he's the type he wants to be, and will move mountains to make that happen to the extent that he can. Am I absolutely sure he's not an ENFP? Well, I'm about as sure as I can be that he's an ESFP because it's like the lack of any intellectualization in his ideation is not really consistent with the ENFP. ENFPs tend to intellectualize stuff some. They just do it broadly and, in my opinion, poorly. But you know, not, but not. They're not the complete paucity of it that you see in his content, right? He seems entirely blind to TI because that whole like defining dumb as mute and therefore saying I'm lying about him was just as textbook TI polar you can get, but it's also indicative of a weak relationship with language in general. So I don't think he's an ENFP. I'm pretty sure he's an ESFP. Nevertheless, I can't say for absolute certain without typing the guy formally and having him cooperate with the process, right? In other words, with him having some willingness to have his weakness is exposed in order to determine what his strengths are, you know?
Thank you, Mrs. Mom.
Do I wish that hadn't occurred? Yes, absolutely. And I definitely won't let it ever happen again. But, people make mistakes. I made a mistake. I'm basically responding to some comments I got on my response to Club TI Polar's short. Um, People very reasonably question how it could be that any DOM could mistype him as, say, an ENFP or an ENTP. Well, I got manipulated into it. I shouldn't have been susceptible to that. I wish I hadn't been, but I was. And like I said, it's, I'm being held to an incredibly high standard, which I expect and deserve, right? I shouldn't make that kind of public error of that significance. This resulted in so much unnecessary controversy after the fact, right? But, I'm human and I make mistakes, and I made a mistake that time. So, I've learned from it. And that's my response to the commenters on that last little video I made. We should all be very attentive to and sort of find it informative when somebody avoids answering certain questions as desperately as he avoided answering certain questions, right? It's very revelatory about what's going on there. But, we're in this typology world where there are all these various parties who are claiming to be ENTPs and having significant presence and having a significant presence online accordingly, but who aren't actually ENTPs. And I can't really think, well, he's Jack from Socionics, he's another ENTP I can think of as online presence in the typology community. And of course, he reveals just how blind FI Polar can be when he suggests Melissa Tox as an ENFJ. And he said, well, what else can you call what she's doing besides FE? FI, dummy. I mean, that's what anybody would call what she's doing. FI, right? She's throwing a little tantrum and blah, 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 blah. That's textbook FI. But also, Jack misidentifying it as FE is textbook FI Polar, Jack's a real ENTP. That doesn't make him right about shit. It just makes him a real ENTP.
And it's just how, Club TI Polar is an ESFP, not an ENFP, because he's using FI, not FE.
Well, both of them use FI, not FE.
Oh, well, they both do?
Yeah, one of them uses NE, one of them uses SE. The thing is, Club ESFP is not very much like your dad.
No, he's not.
And he's not very much like Robin Williams or like other people. I think it was textbook ENFP. I think he's much more likely to be an ESFP. He's very concrete in all of his. That's what I call Club ENTP. Is Club TI Polar. So I got a lot of pushback about my initial mistyping of him, and I understand that. I deserve that pushback, and I deserve that criticism. But I just want to reassure those who would critique me on that it was a one-time mistake. I'm never going to let myself get manipulated like that again by a prospective, person who wants to be typed into typing them how they want me to type them. It happened once. It won't happen again. That's my point. Yes, I was wrong, but worse than being wrong, I was wrong for the wrong reasons. I let myself get FE maneuvered by somebody who was FE demonstrative. And I feel dumb about that. I feel like I got outsmarted, which is ironic, but not inconceivable, right? Just because I'm an ENTP and he's an ESFP doesn't mean it's not possible for him to outsmart me on occasions.
Yeah, that's why I try to say when I've been like my intuition has been wrong, because I feel like people should know that INFJs make big mistakes too, even though they do get some things right. Like,
Right? Yeah. Look, it may be the case that in most situations I'm going to. Well, it was, but then he put up a video recently, short, and talking about me, and I responded to it, and then I got comments on that, which I'm now basically responding to. I'm not responding to them word for word. I'm not reading them out loud. I'm responding to them, but the gist of it was, how can you as an NE Dom mistype somebody else as an NE Dom who's actually an SE Dom with all the experience you have, etc. And that's a very valid question and a very valid critique. And the answer is I let myself get outsmarted and manipulated into typing somebody a type they weren't. And um, obviously, I don't like the way that feels, but yes, that's the truth of the matter. It doesn't take a genius to outsmart somebody. They just have to have a lot more time and energy and attention directed towards outsmarting you than you do to avoiding being outsmarted.
yeah.
By them, which means if they come in as not raising any red flags, you know,
Right, because like it happened with that INTP girl too, but like she caught you off guard because like everything that she was saying was valid. It just like,
oh right, that INTP girl.
yeah,
Well, I don't feel so bad about that one because all she did was walk me back from certainty with legitimate wedge points of any uncertainty. So it's like I think I'm convinced she's an INTP, but I have to admit that I can't conclude that with more than with it requires too much intuition of me to be decisive about it, right? My intuition's right, but because I don't have a clear cut test for SE polar, anybody for whom I don't have a clear cut test for the polar, I can definitively say you're this polar, then they can always squeeze some uncertainty into the equation because there is some there. It relies somewhat on my intuition, not just on empirics. So in those circumstances, when it relies on intuition, not just empirics, if an INTP wants to walk me back from certainty by pointing that out, they're going to win those arguments, and I'm going to concede those points. But that just walks me back from certainty. I was not wrong about her type. It made me acknowledge that she might be a different type because I can't establish that she's got SE polar for sure. Nevertheless, that doesn't make me feel bad. I don't mind getting outsmarted by an INTP. you know, that's to be expected.
that's true.
That's a good another example, Rachel. But it's a great another example because it shows the difference. Challenging my level of certainty and winning that argument. trying to convince me they were a type they weren't, not really doing so, but getting me to agree to it anyway, out of a variety of sort of circumstances, manipulations, assemblings, muddling, willful muddlings, knowing well how I planned and gamed, planned out a game plan ahead of time for it and stuff like that. You know, it worked, but it didn't. It didn't. You know, when I offered to retype him, doing it properly the right way, the normal way, he absolutely declined. Would not accept that free typing at all. Oh, I'm not a professional typologist. This isn't my job.
Hey, Ella.
I haven't typed anybody in weeks. I don't particularly like doing it, although I don't especially dislike it. As work goes, it's about as good as it gets, I guess. But it certainly doesn't pay the bills. Let's go smoke a cigarette. Well, Dan's daughter, notwithstanding, she hasn't typed hundreds and hundreds of people. She hasn't been doing it for years and years. She's not particularly well suited intellectually to the task. She's operating off a wrong interpretation of Jungian cognitive function, etc., etc. There's myriad reasons not to prioritize her typing over mine. Because in any given instance, you have to evaluate it on the merits of that instance, not on the person overall, right? So that's my explanation of that. And we got a whopping electricity bill. Which makes me go, okay, we're gonna have to cool it on the cooling it a little bit. $500 and some electricity bill. Wow. What? Was what I said, you know. Yeah. Don't listen to either of those people, they're wrong. Regardless, needless to say, that was a shock to the pocketbook. Um, we have been just like blasting the air conditioner. We could be a lot smarter with it. We've just been just careless about it. But I did not expect it to be that expensive. I was thinking maybe $300.
That's reasonable. That's a reasonable jump from what our current, maybe
our normal bill was. Yeah. Well, in the winter we hardly use any electricity because everything is propane, you know.
Yeah.
Except for the lights, which we're not big to have the lights on all the time.
We're not, no.
And the TV takes that much electricity. No. Air conditioning takes the most electricity of all.
So we're learning.
Like, you know, when it's just us two here, especially since you don't seem to be going upstairs that much anymore, we should, like, keep all the upstairs vents closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot more bears seen up in Arcadia than there are here in Mariposa, as far as I can tell.
You know,
Sierra Madre Arcadia up by the mountains.
There's a YouTube called Arcadia Wildlife, and they put up different, like, the most recent one that was recommended to me was about bears in a pool in Arcadia.
Oh, that's what Winston's mom was just talking about.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, here, look at this so you can see what they're saying.
Hi, Winston's mom. I was just talking about that same video. Me as a professional tarot reader, that would be a sweet gig too. I mean, that's like so difficult. It's something that I love to do. And like maybe I'll do something, but like I don't really know even where to start. To be honest with you, like getting paid for tarot. But I genuinely like love doing it now just for fun. It's definitely something that helps me practice. So if you want like a tarot reading, Ella, I can absolutely do one for you once we go back inside.
Which we'll do when I'm done with this cigarette.
Yeah, yeah. Winston's mom says, oh no, what did I do? Oh, never mind. Never mind. I tried to get back the...
We just gotta push this one. There it is right there. You can, yeah, if you want.
Yeah, you know, Ella, you're right. Hey, Moonfay 11. Cool. I'm glad you like a reading. I would definitely love to do a reading for you.
Well, let's go inside because I'm done smoking.
Okay.
What I want to do is some cleaning here at some point.
Okay.
We could use some vacuuming. I really would like to get a shop vac.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, it's one of those things we need to get.
Yeah, we do.
I'm gonna make this shorter and put it on the Lazy Susan. And here's the thing about Lazy Susans, friends. It's not really Susan who's the lazy one. It's you. Let's be honest. Let's stop denigrating Susan with these false accusations. She's the hard-working table that turns so you don't have to get up. How does that make her lazy? Oh, it seems like we got some pretty crappy internet right now. Fortunately, we should be getting fiber pretty soon. And I don't mean the kind of fiber that makes you poop. Well, yeah, I mean, it shouldn't have been hard for me to see through that, but, you know, like I said, that's fine. Like I said, he, you know, he got the better of me. It happens. I don't win every battle. Rachel has a YouTube channel. She just doesn't use it very much. We use this one together, you know. She's welcome, obviously, anytime too. Oh, that's a one thing. Never mind. It's fine. We got plenty of electricity left. We do have kind of shitty internet right now.
Yeah, we do.
I'm not sure why.
I don't know why either. Nothing's uploading, right?
It's just a busy time of day.
Yeah. It's your turn for reading.
We don't have phone coverage out here, Ella.
Landline.
But soon we should enjoy the wonderful fast speeds of fiber optics. they've connected it to our house and everything. They just haven't finalized everything. They're gonna call us as soon as they're ready to do the in-house install. We're anxious to get it. We use a lot of internet. We use more internet than internet cafe during rush.
I'm using my rock and roll tarot deck and the Wise Dog Tarot for you, Ella. So I was on Instagram and I subscribed to Johnny's Instagram, and on one of his posts he was like, comment if you're going to one of my shows, and I was like, oh yeah. I said, me and my husband are going to your show on 9/22. We feel lucky to have been able to get tickets. And he wrote back. He liked it, and he wrote back, hell yes, glad you're coming, which is really cool.
Oh, very nice. That's fun.
Yeah, like,
I'm restarting the computer to see if that helps at all. It won't affect the stream at all
okay,
because
cool.
we're streaming from the phone.
Okay.
It just means you have to read things on the phone until the computer's done restarting.
All right. A. Okay. So
Has that improved it at all, everybody? Now that I've restarted the computer?
is that my Alexa?
I didn't hear that.
Oh. Okay, so Ella, the first two cards you have are Dynamo, Passionate, Charming, Cocky, the Knight of Rods, Athlete. You're coming in with your heat, girl. You're running right towards it, and like you're showing off a little bit. See, your horse is like showing off, like, nee. And you got that rod in your hand, like, I'm learning how to be a knight with practical matters. Then the card to follow that one is the 10 of Pentacles. Like, in this card, it's like very much like, here I am with my clan, and we're just chilling. Your next two cards are the Three of Cups and the Magician. So the Three of Cups is play, celebrate, friends. Ooh, ooh. It's girl time. We're drinking and dancing and having some fun. And then you're also the Magician. So you could be like, and so like I'm interpreting like the card as it looks like here, not in not using traditional tarot. Like here, he's like dreaming up stuff and coming up with ideas, and maybe you're dreaming about a time that's fun where you want to celebrate with some people that you know. Maybe you're celebrating now.
Or maybe you're dreaming of a white Christmas.
You could be dreaming of a white Christmas. And then the last two is the Two of Swords, which says flux, conflicted, decision, enigma. And with it is the 10 of Cups.
An enigma is where you put water up your butt.
So you have a decision to make about like something to do maybe between a cat and a dog, like giving a cat or a dog like your attention, like which one should I love right now, my dog or my cat? Or like you feel like you're not sure if you're emotionally fulfilled yet. Like you have three good friends and you're thinking about them and you're dreaming up like bigger things, but you don't know if you should do it like emotionally. And you also like you feel like confident about your creativity and problem solving skills, and you have like your family to back you, your gang, like whoever you consider your family to be, and a nice environment to do that in. You just don't know if you want to like fully invest your emotional cups into making this like decision about something.
You can't have all of my emotional cups.
Exactly.
Stop trying to steal my emotional cups. That's what you should tell whoever it is. Those are my emotional cups. Filled with such emotions as love, anger, sadness, rejoicing, and other such emotions.
This one came up, flipped over as you were talking. It's the Six of Rods, victory.
Victory, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Allah says her emotions can't do things without persimmons. How does your energy transfer into the cards if you're not in the room? Via magic, magical wavelengths.
By magic and magical wavelengths.
Yeah, obviously. They're kind of wavy lines that come in different colors, and they connect the universe to everything and everyone to everyone else in magical ways.
That was Tiffany.
Just like persimmons, Ella. Just like persimmons.
Hi, Jimmy Blaze.
My emotions do things without my permission, too. Persimmons. Why am I acting up earlier today? I was feeling emotional feelings. And I was like, whoa, 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 emotional feelings. Where are you coming from?
Want some cards?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, that's the right question to not ask, Ella. Okay? You did the right thing there. Because you didn't ask a question, you just made a statement that was the right statement to ask. Hello, friends. It's been a while.
Hi, Sean Reinbeard. It has been a while.
I like emotions myself, Ella. I'm quite fond of them. Video cleared up a bit good. I'm glad to hear it. Maybe the laptop was eating bandwidth unnecessarily. Who was that one for, Ella? Why don't you do one for Moon Faye next?
Okay. This one's for you.
Okay, well do me first.
Okay. And then Moon Faye.
That's not a shirt. It's actually a whole dress, all the way down to the ground. It does go down to below her waist.
Yeah, it's strength. He's just a pup, but he's not afraid of that lion at all.
Don't be afraid to visit the gun show. Oh yeah. That's some strength right there, huh?
That is some strength right there. And it's 8/8 the portal day.
It's portal day.
Yeah. 8/8 portal day.
Well, we should go outside and look for portal UFOs.
Yeah. It's somewhere said that I need to go outside. Queen, you're also the Queen of Cups. Ooh la la.
I'm in charge of my emotions.
Yeah.
I'm an emotion gun, Ella. That's what kind of gun I am.
An emotion gun, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And the last card for Eric. Ooh, King of Pentacles.
Yeah. Well, SRB in the house.
SRB in the house.
Well, I think it's a good reading for me.
I think so too.
Yes, Jimmy Blaze, you're in line after Moon Fae to get a reading.
Okay. Can you help me shuffle?
Sure.
You're good at shuffling.
You want me to pull a few of these for you?
Sure, I can read them. You could both read them.
Sure. Why not? You're doing 2 decks. When I pull one, you pull the other.
Okay.
Miana?
Now, are we doing reversals or no?
I would say no.
Okay.
Miana? And Miana. These are the ones the magical energies have picked. If you thought you could get away today without magical energies, Lou, you were mistaken. Because those are, yes, it's you. It's you now, Lou. These are the magical energies for you.
Okay.
All right, let's see what you got.
10 of Sticks and Page of Swords.
I believe the 10 of Sticks is the card that you have a rake when you need a shovel.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong tool for the job.
Yep, wrong tool for the job.
So perhaps you're trying to rake leaves with a shovel.
Yeah, and you're thinking about it in your mind. You're like a kid about it. Like, I need to get this off my plate. So you're like, I have a rake, but I need a shovel.
I'll try to dig with the rake.
I'll try to dig with the rake. And yeah.
And then you'll talk about it.
Yeah, you're gonna be talkative about it. It's like, damn, I have this one thing, but I need the other thing. Like,
Alright, what's next?
Next. Ooh, number 3, the Empress, and another 3, the 3 of Rods, arrival, success, advent, ambition. You're like, look all this beauty around me. I just need my packages to come in. I have this like beautiful idea in mind. I'm sitting on my throne in my crib. It's here with my pups, with my chillins, and I got some stuff in the mail and it's gonna be coming in.
But see, that card makes me think the thing's already there. You just need to turn around and see it.
Oh, that's a good way of interpreting it too. So actually, you are already set up to be the Empress.
But I mean, doesn't it seem like it's from the perspective of the thing you're waiting for? That image?
Yes, it is. Usually it has ships out in the distance and the guy's like looking at it. So that's why it's like waiting for your ships to come in.
Alright, well, my question is who's taking that picture?
Someone else. So it's not you. You already have it.
waiting for is taking that picture.
What?
I'm saying the thing you're waiting for is taking that picture.
Ooh.
And they're gonna surprise you and be like, hey, I'm right behind you.
And then you take a picture and.
No, they've already taken this picture. They're about to surprise you.
Oh, And then when the picture's taken of her, she looks like the Empress.
Yeah, that possibly could be the case. Yeah.
So picture taken and you look glam, girl.
All right, what's next?
Temperance and the World. Wow, you've got a lot of, you got 3 major arcana here. So in Temperance, you got this husky dog. He's got a heart in its center. You got wings and you're feeling good. You got one paw in the cool water. You got the other paw on the ground. You're so balanced. And you've also just reached a pinnacle. Like you've come to the opus of something. It's the end and it feels really good. Or like it says on the card, an arrival of something new. And you're like, you've got your spinning things in your arms and you've got the silk purple thing around you and you're just feeling yourself. And like, you're also extremely balanced about it, so no one in insane goodness would ever say anything bad about you. Not that they should anyway, because you're an awesome person, but you know how people are. And like now it's like, fuck yeah, I'm doing my thing, and it feels really good. Huskies are the craftiest dogs.
Mermaids are the craftiest sea creatures.
Ooh.
Next up is Jimmy Blaze. If he's still here.
Jimmy Blaze, you're next.
Well.
Oh, cool. You're here.
There's the one card.
You're welcome, Moonfay 11.
There's the 2 cards. And there's the 3 cards. This one is an additional one that wants to come out. So I'll put that one there too.
Okay.
Let me turn over the first additional one first. The Magician.
Ooh.
The Magician pulls tricks like wanting to come out. As you can see, this is the sleeping dog magician. But he could just be faking being asleep.
Yep. Next one is the Chariot and the 3 of Swords.
Uh-oh. You're moving fast, in control of your vehicle. But there's some heartbreak somewhere in the mix.
Well, this like totally reminds me of that line from the Johnny song. I forget which one. I'm a comeback track star, and I'm running right back to me, not you.
I'm a comeback track star, and I'm running right back to me, not you. In other words,
that's what these.
they're gonna pull out those 2 swords from either side and just have that nice structural beam support sword in the middle.
Yeah, and you're running right back to you.
Alright, let's look at these ones. The Hanged Man.
Ooh.
And the High Priestess. You're
Ooh.
chock full of major arcanas.
Yeah, you are.
Hanged Man can be interpreted a lot of ways. Could be waiting for something. Could be feeling stuck, you know. Could be feeling like avoidant of the world, trying to like be dark playgroundy. But High Priestess, in conjunction with this, it suggests that maybe you need to let your inner woman come out and provide a little feminine vibes, omens, feel, and sense. So maybe you should try a little of that to unhang your man.
Yeah.
If your man be feeling hanged, you want to do the last 2?
Okay. The last 2 are the Four of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. So you have all these things that you want to give away, all these pentacles that you're like giving to these people down here, and you have like some pentacles at your feet, but you're really holding on to like this one thing that like you're really like, you know, like if it was like your security blanket, like for me that would be my bag. Like I don't know, I'd feel like naked without a bag on. Like for you it might be your wallet or something, or like a security blanket, a literal security blanket that you have from when you were a kid. But other than that, you're giving things away. It's like I have these things, but you could have it, and you could have
Is
it.
that what you think the Four of Pentacles is?
Usually the
six?
Six of Pentacles is a given.
Okay, so what's the four? You're possessing,
Yeah.
or you're trying to hold on to four different things at one time?
Yeah.
Or is there a little contradictory energy there? No, this is kind of an intro today, Boba Fett. I'm not sure. Those cards are called Rock and Roll Tarot.
Yeah.
These ones are. These are probably the ones you're talking about. Everyone asks about these cards. They're pretty cool, but they don't have them anymore. You can't get them. So the other ones, they're dog cards.
Yeah. And it's cool because like you can read them in different ways, and that's really pretty art and cute dogs.
Everybody likes cute dogs,
Oops.
except cute dog haters.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to read
Yeah,
it
did we
before we put it away?
Yeah.
Do we get everybody who wants it?
How many card packs do you have, Rachel? Okay, Josephine, totally. And Boba Fett, you're next. Okay, so Joseph E.
You just need to find your inner vagina, Jimmy Blaze. You need to find it, and you need to fondle it.
Yeah, I had to choose, so I've been giving up on you.
All right, Boba Fett.
No, Joseph E.
All right, Joseph E. first, sure. Then Boba Fett.
Yeah. Joseph E.
Uno. Dos Equis. E. Triunfo.
It's your turn.
Okay. You got the King of Swords, and you got the Knight of Rods. King of Swords and the Knight of Rods. Knight of Rods says, I'm a busy go-getter. I got plans in the works. I'm getting them done, but I'm not really like kicking all that much ass, really. Just I'm in the go phase,
Yeah.
not in the masterful phase, really. Now, the King of Swords is in the masterful phase of thinking about stuff and talking about stuff. Now, you do the next ones.
Okay. Okay, so this is a kind of a contradiction too, but take it as you will. We got the Nine of Swords, which is anguish and sleepless nights, anxiety, having something on your mind. Sometimes it's just like not being obsessive, compulsive thinking.
You're probably thinking too much about that thing that you're doing, that your Knight of Rods in.
Yeah, but you have the Nine of Cups. So it's like Nine of Cups is like wishes coming true. It's a dog who's like happy with himself. Like, look how happy this dog is. He's like, yeah, like look at my little award over there. Did that, and all those cups, those are mine. But you have some sort of like mental thing that's like kind of blocking
He said he's a procrastinator.
this good thing.
You're a procrastinator. Yes, the answer, Ella, is yes. A straight man can date a straight man. They just both have to be lesbians.
These are kind of opposite cards too. We have the Four of Rods: harmony, cohabitate, home, move, happiness. It's like you're ready for a party. Like something good is coming up, but you have the Seven of Swords with it. So you could be like happy about something. Maybe like you made a new friendship, or you're even like dating someone, but you feel like
I think of the Seven of Swords as being more of a good card, about serving your own self-interest.
yeah, right.
And for people who've got FI and weak spots, I don't know if you were one such person or not, but that's definitely a good thing.
Yeah.
If you're prone to being too self-serving, then it's more of like a deceit card, like going too far maybe.
Like I could see it possibly like maybe you're thinking about moving, but you don't really want to tell anybody yet because you want to make that move in silence so you don't get any pushback. That's something that I would have done. So
Jimmy Blaze, have you considered dating a Trans Am?
what does a Trans Am do?
It's a kind of car.
Oh.
Yeah. It drives.
I do hope so.
Yeah, that's what a Trans Am does. Okay, are we on to Boba Fett now?
Yeah, Boba Fett.
Okay, here we go. Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
This card's for you. And here you go. That one's number 2. Oh, and number 3. Pop right out, G. So there you go. Yeah, I prefer Camaro. That's racist, Jimmy Blaze. That's racist against Trans Ams.
You're welcome, Joseph B. I'm glad that it was accurate. Okay, Boba Fett, you got the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups.
Got a new thought and a new feeling.
New thought and a new feeling. You got some pep in your step, and you're thinking of sing about it.
You gotta sing about it, huh?
Yeah, you know, because like Ace of Swords is talking, so maybe singing too.
And you've got self-service / deceit, and also conflict and strife. Well, this is a little bit of a volatile pair of cards to get.
Yeah. So my advice is if there's too many like cooks in the kitchen, which is usually the 5 of Rods, maybe back away from the situation to self-preserve. You know, but you know, you've seen in like TV shows and in cartoons when like a person like runs into a room and they realize, oh, shouldn't be here. They didn't notice that we're here yet, so we're gonna just back away. Yeah.
You see what the third ones are?
And the last ones are Knight of Pentacles and 6 of Rods. I mean, swords.
6 of Swords.
Yes.
And Knight of Pentacles. Transition, voyage, tour, go, depart. This one is a dog hanging out with a pony.
Yeah, it is.
I never really noticed that
Neither
before.
did I. I thought the dog was just doing a weird thing, I never noticed the pony before. So Knight of Pentacles, like you are starting to make some money. And because it's a knight, it's got like teenager energy to it. So you're like, I want a pony. I'm gonna save up for a pony. But I guess maybe the pony can mean like something precious to you. Oh yeah. Usually knights are on the horses. So
This dog riding a horse.
it's the dog riding a horse. So yeah, maybe you're gonna make a show of yourself because you've got this teenager energy. So you're like, you know what? I've been making some money. I'm gonna spend a little of it. I'm gonna show off. And then with the Six of Swords, you're like you're thinking of like ways that you can like increase your Knight of Pentacleness. So you're thinking of ways that you can increase your money and material gains. And you're thinking in very positive ways because like they're moving on from something. You're no longer stuck. You're moving ahead. And you might have other people in your life that you're involving in this like new idea. But 6 has to do with the heart usually and love. So you're thinking about your loved ones and maybe how you can increase or what you can do with your money for others. Hey, Show Media. I don't know what kind of show this is with dogs riding ponies. Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles.
Knight of Pentacles does sound like a hentai.
It does.
So
Thank you for indulging me.
thank you for doing this reading. So I don't know. I don't expect it's going to be an especially long stream because I'm not feeling especially motivated at the moment. It's a little surprising, but could just be a matter of kind of waiting for everything to enter my system all the way. I got my Vyvanse today, and that was quite a saga, but I don't even want to get into it. Anyway, we got some sandwiches in Oakhurst, and my sandwich, to be honest, was a little too spicy for me. When it said hot, I thought they meant hot like heated up. They meant spicy. I like spicy things sometimes, but oh, that's a score right there, Lou. That's your spirit guides delivering the goods. Oh, I forgot to put this one away.
Thank you.
There we go. I've been watching a lot of women's soccer, naturally. Like every single game.
Yeah, you really have been an avid watcher.
Yeah. Nobody could accuse me of underwatching the World Cup. France, yeah, me too, show media, same thing. France, obviously looked very good today against Morocco, but I don't know what to think about that because Colombia squeaked out a yawner against Jamaica. And I want to see games with some goals in them. I want to see games with like 4-3, 3-2. 0-0 decided on penalty kicks is a little frustrating.
Yeah.
You know? That's how the U.S. lost to Sweden.
Oh, that's so sad.
And the U.S. looked phenomenal in that game. You know, it's like I watched all their games this tournament, and they looked like a big pile of stink poo. Games 1, 2, and 3. They squeaked out of the group stage. Then in game 4, they looked like the best team in the world because Sweden's number 3 team in the world according to the FIFA rankings, and the U.S. dominated that game. But we couldn't put it in the back of the net, and Sweden won it on penalty kicks. So the U.S. is out, but my favorite going in, the one I was most interested in watching, and the team that has proved to be the most interesting team really there, is Japan. Japan kicked Spain's ass, even though Spain has looked consistently phenomenal against everybody, including Japan to a certain extent. Spain still dominated possession against Japan, but they couldn't do anything against Japan's rock solid defense. It was a really interesting game to watch, and Japan was deadly on the counterattack. Beat them 4-0. So it'll be interesting to see regarding women's sports. I enjoy watching beach volleyball. You could have just left it at that. I think would have been sufficient to get your idea across. I've watched beach volleyball before for actually the purpose of watching beach volleyball. Recently, I watched a very good competitive battle against USC versus UCLA for the national championship, and it was good sports, entertaining sports. USC won, everyone was happy, except for the stinky UCLA people. But nobody cares about them. Nobody cares about stinky UCLA people. Just kidding, Dave Porter. Dave Porter's a UCLA grad. I'm just kidding, Dave. People care about stinky UCLA people. Out of all the MBTI YouTubers, I like U2 and Street Urchin the most. I don't know who Street Urchin is, but I'm not really a consumer of MBTI YouTubers.
I don't even get suggested YouTube typology stuff anymore. Only yours.
Rachel does look happening in a far out way.
Thanks, show media.
Cameron isn't here in the chat anymore. Cameron hasn't been here for a long time. Cameron left the day after the wedding, I think. To go to another wedding, I believe.
Oh, wow.
You here to correct me? Alright, go ahead, correct away, Fly Guy. I'll say something wrong and you correct me. Oakland's a beautiful city.
Oh my gosh, show media, I totally knew that you were referencing that movie. I used to love that movie when it came out. I think we saw it like 3 times. Yeah. The first one's good. I'm not a big as fan of the second movie.
I'm a huge fan of Tropic Thunder too in the group.
Tropic Thunder is hysterical.
It's really good.
It was like we saw it in the theater like 3 times. We were like, I was like 13 when it came out, so my sister was 11, and I don't think that my brother was old enough to see it with us. Maybe. But like we would like quote it and stuff, cause I don't even know if we knew what the Brady Bunch was like, cause you know it's a movie that makes fun of the Brady Bunch, and they do it in such like a funny way where it contrasts like the 90s versus the 70s. And
Oh right, I've seen that movie because they're their '70s selves, but they're in the '90s.
Mhm. That's good. I used to do the Marsha dance. She goes like that.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the Tropic Thunder movie. It was really brilliantly written. Watched a lot of the lines really carefully and just in genius fashion.
Yeah.
And Rachel wants to see it. I'm willing to see it. It's at the theater in Oakhurst. We could go
I don't
see
think
it.
it is anymore.
Oh, I saw it on the sign
Oh, you
today.
did? Oh, today? Then yeah, it's there. We don't have to see it in theaters. We can see it
When
once
it
it's on
comes out.
stream. Yeah, that's up to you though. I'm not dying to see it.
Well, it's like John Wick 4. You're not the biggest Ryan Gosling fan?
I heard that he was Carrot liked him in it. Um, the Billie Eilish song made me cry. I really like that song for that movie. I think it's a good one. He might be a one trick pony. He has done some serious stuff too.
Alright, what do you guys think about comparing Ryan Gosling versus Ryan Reynolds?
Oh my god, that is like the millennial question.
Who would you rather cast as the lead in your movie?
Oh my god. That's so difficult. I really want people to ask this. Okay, Reynolds. We got 2 Reynolds.
Well, just to be contrary, I'm going Gosling.
Oh.
Because unlike Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Gosling is a baby goose. What his last name means.
Oh, it's true. I think they're both Canadian.
What's a 2 lady actresses with the same first name that we can do that with? Kara and Kara. Kara Knightley and Kara Menon.
Sure.
Smoochie Rubenstein.
I'm trying to think of.
I don't think I saw Drive.
I like to drive.
Okay. If you could bring them back to life to star in a new movie one time, Which dead actor would you bring back to life to star in a movie? Actor or actress? I think you're probably, in this question, naturally going to be biased towards people who died young and didn't
Oh shit! I
and didn't get to
wasn't.
make a lot of movies.
Oh my god!
Like my initial thought goes immediately to Marilyn Monroe.
Wow, that's crazy. My mind didn't even go there at all.
And the second one was James Dean.
Oh my god, that would have been a great answer too. My mind didn't go there either. I'm thinking, who was a good actor back in 1942? Like I remember. How would I? I don't remember any performances. Maybe Marlon Brando.
Yeah. See, which Marlon Brando do you get back? Do you get the one with the
See,
big
that's
head?
the catch-22. Or a wish with the catch.
Or like
Okay. Oh, he was an actor.
who's that guy who said it's curtains, you hear? Curtains.
I know exactly who you're talking about, but I can't think of
I was
it.
like, I want to say Cagney and Lacey, but it's it's like
Oh,
something like Cagney or something, right?
James Cagney?
Is that an actor's name?
Yeah.
James Cagney?
Yeah.
Maybe him. I'm not sure.
It's curtain free. Was it James Cagney? Hey, Keisha. It's pretty violent. Yeah, it is pretty violent. Hello.
Or you could bring back that famous dancer guy, Fred Astaire.
Fred Astaire. How about James? Yeah.
It would be interesting to see Fred Astaire make in contemporary time one of those song and dance movies.
That would be so cool.
You know,
He could probably like dance to.
maybe you get a 2-for-1 deal and get him and Ginger Rogers
You think she'd be willing to be like
brought back from the dead.
to work with him?
Well, I mean that's what everybody wants to see, right?
She's a celebrity, so she would know that.
That's the most famous incarnation of Fred Astaire is Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers.
Yeah. I'd like that. I'd bring them back.
And then have them do like this horrible new movie that tries to make it all woke.
Oh no.
And have him be like trans and
Oh no!
her be also trans.
They're both.
And disabled. Both of them disabled too.
They're trans disabled and they sing and dance.
They have to somehow dance in a wheelchair.
They have someone take them. That's how I'm gonna dance.
Oh, God. I tell you what they ruined. Amazon ruined Wheel of Time.
Oh yeah.
With its ridiculous, like, need to change the gender of everybody.
That's so strange.
Like, why don't you just let it be what it is? If you want to make something that's all where, like, there's no expression of any traditional gender roles, then fucking write your own thing like that.
I think
You talking about Wheel of Time? Oh my god, it's what they did was terrible. What about Bruce Lee? Bruce Lee would be a good one to bring back.
he is a good one to bring back.
Right. Okay, fine. I agree with you, Moonfabe. They just, I mean, but part of that was in changing like the rules, the basic rules of the universe, right? It's supposed to be divided into male and female halves of the one source, and they just like did away with that entirely. It's ridiculous. How can you even?
I couldn't watch it. And I didn't like. I was watching it to like understand the story of it because I would hear you audio booking it sometime, and then I'd be like, oh, this is like cool. Like I would definitely be into this if they put it into a visual, like a visual story. But like watching it was fucking terrible. Like the acting wasn't good. Like
I mean, the thing
the
is,
plot holes too.
the idea that men and women are capable of different things in the book, like men go crazy if they use this power, and it's a different kind of power, etc., is critical to the whole architecture of the novels, you know? And they just did away with it entirely, and it's ridiculous. Because they didn't like the gendered aspect of it or something. Yeah, I mean, see, you may or may not like that world that he built, but do it justice, right? Like, don't pretend he did something different with it and just butcher the hell out of it, which is what they did. They just butchered it. I really enjoyed that series of books too. I read and or listened to them all. I had Audible for a while, specifically Heath Ledger. There's a good choice.
That's what I was thinking. Heath Ledger for the Joker, as the Joker, was a good villain. Oh, that you bring him back.
Yeah. What about River Phoenix?
We're bring back too. Why are these names not coming to me? Why do I keep on thinking of like that guy who Clark Gable? Like I was thinking about Clark Gable.
That's who I was trying to think of before.
Really?
Yeah. Clark Gable. I agree. Clark Gable's an important one to bring back. We should definitely bring him back because he could do a remake of Gone with the Wind, but it's all woke.
And he still wouldn't give a damn at the end.
Yeah. Brandon Lee. You mean the Crow? I mean, if you're gonna bring back one, would you bring back Bruce or Brandon? You'd bring back Bruce.
Ooh.
Bring back Bruce's. Bring back Bruce or bring back Brandon. Steve McQueen.
It's a good one. I don't think I've ever seen a Steve McQueen movie.
I don't think I have either. Betty White just died. Let's bring her back.
Yeah. Should be like, what do you want me? I've already lived.
You want more from me? For God's sake.
We want to make another movie with you in it. The world's not the same.
You want to go to the garage?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit unfair to Brandon, but
I really like to bring Betty White back. Why not?
I mean, I'd tell you who would be yesterday's news if River Phoenix was brought back to life.
Well,
Joaquin Phoenix.
what a world that would be.
No one would want Joaquin Phoenix anymore. I'd be like, can't we get the good? Can we get the good Phoenix?
And his brother's dating life. Who would be set? So River Phoenix would be how old now? Who would we fix him up with?
He'd be about my age. He'd be about 52.
Okay.
But he'd come back to life at the age she died, presumably,
Okay.
right?
Alright, so I'm not gonna set him up. good relationship because he and like Leo came out at the same time, and like Leonardo DiCaprio is not a good example of like.
You don't want River Phoenix to learn from Leonardo DiCaprio's bad example.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know why River Phoenix is precious to me, but I.
Oh. Let's see.
I'd like to get Carrie Fisher back.
Oh, she's dead pretty young. What about Estelle Getty?
Why do I think of meatballs when I still getting?
Was she in Meatballs?
What?
Was she in Meatballs?
No, like actual meatballs, like a meatball making grandma. That's how I picture her. I don't even know if she made meatballs on that show.
I think she did. She made Italian food on this show.
Okay. Why not? Why not bring her back? She was great.
Like, I would definitely not want to bring back Jerry Lewis.
I don't think I want to bring back Jerry Lewis either. Oh my god.
It would be kind of fun to bring Sammy Davis Jr. back to have him make a movie called The Candyman
Can we bring back all of the Rat Pack?
at their primes. I especially want to bring back Sammy Davis Jr. to see how his whole shtick plays in the modern movie. Yeah, baby. That's right, baby. I'm a Candyman, baby.
Making it smooth, baby.
What did he do anyway? Like, what was his thing? He made music, or
I guess he
he was
did.
just part of the Rat Pack?
I don't know if he was just part of the Rat Pack or if he had like a thing. Like, was the Rat Pack like put together? I don't know.
I don't know. Frank Sinatra was the gang leader there.
Okay.
He kind of made the personnel decisions, I think. He was fond of Dean Martin a lot. Of course, ESTP, ISFJ, in my opinion. So, that makes some sense.
Bringing that back would be sort of fun. I really like I was fascinated with the story of Ava Gardner and Frank Sinatra for a while. Like, I looked into their history because like I never really thought about it that much, but my grandma La Pelosa always used to talk about Frank Sinatra and Ava Gardner, and I didn't put two and two together.
Well, they had a famously volatile relationship.
You told me that, yeah.
I just thought of an actor, a dead actor you could bring back to start a movie. John Wilkes Booth.
Oh, wouldn't that guy be hunted though?
Well, I don't think he'd be celebrated at all. Like, but he would be acknowledged for coming back from the dead.
Oh.
You'd be okay. Well, you've already been more or less executed for this crime, so I guess you've served your punishment. Or get his brother, his more famous brother, who was more famous until his brother shot Abraham Lincoln. His older brother was a more famous, well-known, and respected actor than he was.
Yeah, in Drunk History, don't they have a telling of that story? And how like his
Yeah.
brother was like, "What the hell are you doing?" Like,
Ruining your family name forever.
yeah.
Well, it'd
Okay,
be interesting to see how his acting style played in a modern movie, though.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's very theatrical, you know. Because it's not like they had movies back then.
I, for some reason, I don't know why, but I liked Bobby Kennedy better than like the stuff that I knew about anyway.
Better than John Kennedy?
Yeah. Oh no, but John F. Kennedy Jr. I would definitely bring back. I don't think he lived
Yeah, in
long
the plane
enough.
crash, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bit of a cursed family.
Mhm.
I think we could all probably do without bringing Ronald Reagan back.
Yeah. I don't think we need Roosevelt either. FDR is like he did his job, you know what I mean? Like he did his job.
Yeah, I'm talking about Ronald Reagan as an actor, though.
Oh.
Right, not as a president.
We don't need Ronald Reagan as an actor. I forgot he was an actor. How could I forget he was an actor?
Natalie Wood. I don't know much or anything about Natalie Wood, except that there were Natalie Wood jokes when she was suspiciously probably killed, or maybe died, I don't know, off of a boat in the 70s, I think, or late 60s, one of the two.
Mhm.
I've never seen anything that Natalie Wood was in.
Have you ever seen West Side Story?
Yeah, I've seen West Side Story.
She's in that.
Oh. I have seen something that Natalie Wood's in, actually. Who is she?
She plays Maria.
Really?
Yes.
Isn't Maria seen, like, isn't Maria supposed to be Puerto Rican?
Yeah.
Is Natalie Wood Puerto Rican?
No, she was white as white
Did
bread.
they make her color look
I
browner?
think they did, yeah.
They brownfied her?
They did.
Oh. Because she
And
seemed
I
like
think she might have had an accent in the movie too. It wasn't exactly politically correct at all.
That's fine. I mean, the whole thing couldn't have gotten any gayer, so. I like West Side Story. It's got a good soundtrack.
Really, I always thought it was so sad. It made me difficult. It made it difficult for me to watch.
I'm not really talking about the play or whatever. I'm just talking about the record.
Oh yeah, it's got good music.
Yeah.
Sharks versus who? Jets.
Yeah.
Jets.
Yeah. There are a couple of gangs who dance around and sing at each other.
Made for a good Gap commercial. I don't know if anyone remembers that.
But I just think like a musical about gangs is just a terrible idea.
Isn't it supposed to be like based off of like some
It's
like Romeo and
yeah, Romeo
Juliet?
and
Yeah.
Juliet, but
Yeah.
like supposed street gangs snapping their fingers and dancing around and singing at each other. It's just so inherently ridiculous. But
That's totally like kind of it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But they like musicals were so the thing like when that came out.
yeah, they were the thing. Everybody was into that.
Yeah.
Right now, that's entertainment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nowadays, a little bit less so.
Mhm.
People are a little less fond of musicals these days. And when,
Except
for the Book of Mormon.
Right. That's true. I wonder.
It breaks the mold a little.
Have you ever seen it?
No, I have not.
Me neither. I'm surprised there's not a movie of it.
I'm surprised too.
Der Ring des Nibelungen was better than West Side Story. I've never seen Der Ring des Nibelungen. Men Like Gods. I've never seen that movie. Never even heard of it. Michael Douglas in Falling Down. I saw that movie. Is Michael Douglas dead? Natalie Portman too. That's funny.
Norm McDonald's is a good one.
Yeah. We could bring back that guy from Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
What's his name? Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
Sean Connery's not dead yet. I'm not sure about Michael Caine.
I thought Sean Connery is dead.
Oh, Sean Connery is dead?
I don't know.
Sean Connery cunnilingus himself to death? Wow. Michael Douglas is
Michael's
also dead?
I thought he's alive.
Let's find out. He's alive. He's 78 years old. He's married to Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Mm-hmm. They have a wide age gap.
Oh, good for him. They had a 23-year-old son. That's a big age gap. She's 53 and he's 78. That's 25 years. Oh, good for them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's still alive. What about Kirk Douglas? Is he still
I
alive?
think he's dead, but we can bring him back because I like some of the movies that he was in when he was younger.
He's dead.
Ooh, can we bring back and he was older when he died too, but Paul Newman.
Wow, he was over 100. He was 104 years old when he died.
Wow. Go
He
for
really lived a long
Douglas.
time.
Yeah, so
Who did you say just now?
Paul Newman.
Oh, Paul Newman. To have him make more salad dressing?
Yeah.
Is he dead? Yeah, he died
Oh,
in 2008,
he was
quite some
pretty
time
old
ago.
too. Yeah.
Not that old. He was 83.
83. Mm-hmm.
What about James Stewart? James Stewart died in 1997 at 91 years old. Clint Eastwood, is he still alive?
Yeah.
93. Clint Eastwood's ex-mistress, Roxanne Tunis, dies at 93. Stunt woman who had a secret 14-year affair with Western star. Wow, shame on you, Clint.
Yeah, shame on you.
What about Cary Grant? Cary Grant died in 1986 at the age of 82 years old. Burt Lancaster. Why is Burt Lancaster trending?
Yeah, why is he trying to? The only thing that I think that would make him trend is the Bangladesh
Yeah.
cafe. I don't even think that was a picture of Burt Lancaster.
I think you bring Catherine Hepburn back.
She'd be fun to bring back, I think.
You brought me back from the dead. What have you done?
I can't believe I didn't think like Marilyn Monroe and what's his name, James Dean.
Vern Troyer? Who is Vern Troyer?
Oh, he was the miniman in
Okay, well, instead of bringing him back then, let's bring back Yul Brynner.
Oh my.
Okay? Yul Brynner, for a long time, was Hollywood's most famous bald man. He died at just 65 years old.
He's a good one to bring back.
He's most well known for his portrayal of King Mongkut in Roger and Hammerstein's musical The King and I.
I liked the King and I as a kid.
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross is a good one.
All we need is just a little patience.
It takes a special brain to put those two things together.
Remember that time we snorted coke off Yul Brynner's noggin?
Felix.
Rachel had a good idea today of doing an ASMR channel that was just, thanks, Blue. That is just our cat purring. Our cat purrs so loudly, Trouble does.
Yeah.
He purrs like a jet engine.
Yeah, he really does. So much so that when I have my headphones in, I can still hear his purrs. And that doesn't happen. It's so comforting.
You know, you don't hear a lot of Yul Brynner references these days.
How many Hepburns on it? There's Audrey Hepburn, there's Katharine Hepburn. Are those the only two?
See, how many Hepburns are there? Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah, they can act against each other.
So who's the mother of whom? Audrey's the mother of Catherine?
No, I don't think they have anything to do with each other.
Really?
Yeah. Catherine.
So Catherine Hepburn was born in 1907. Died in her 90s. Audrey Hepburn was born in 1929 in Belgium. Katharine Hepburn was born in Connecticut in 1907.
Hmm.
So unless at 22 she had a child in Belgium, it's unlikely that Katharine Hepburn is Audrey Hepburn's mother. She has many siblings, including Margaret, Tom, Marion, Robert, and Richard.
Grant, was she did Katharine Hepburn and Cary Grant have a thing?
That's her sibling,
Oh, so maybe her sibling was married to Cary Grant?
though. Marion Hepburn Grant, a woman of substance. Although she came from an upscale and accomplished family, her goal was to get married, and her preferred form of exercise was housework. You would think she was just another society dame dabbling in superficial homemaking while leading a fashionable life of privilege, but her life was lived with intensity and energy as a socially minded activist, historian, and author. Marion Hepburn Grant was one of six children, three girls and three boys, in an illustrious family that included the founder and presidents of Corning Glass, U.S. senators and representatives, ambassadors, philanthropists such as Alice Tully, and a sister who would become a noted movie star. The daughter of Dr. Thomas Hepburn and Catherine Houghton Hepburn, the noted suffragette and birth control advocate, she grew up in Hartford, attended private school, and spent summers in Fenwick.
So was Katharine Hepburn technically a nepo baby, as they say?
Well, she had plenty of connections, yeah. I'm sure she used those connections to be successful, but she was also a very busy actress.
Yeah, good
so.
for her. I mean, I have nothing against nepo.
It's um, people get successful for a variety of reasons, and some it's a factor. But she wouldn't have been successful if she wasn't a good enough actress to be successful in her own right.
True.
Is she a good actress? I don't know.
I have no idea. I've never.
Never really studied
seen.
her acting.
No. But that's like commonplace now for.
I did not know that the Hepburns
Yeah.
were unrelated to each other.
Yeah, so wouldn't that be kind of fun to bring them both back and then have them star in a movie
Star
together?
as each other.
Oh my gosh. So Katharine Hepburn would play Audrey Hepburn and Audrey Hepburn would play Katharine Hepburn?
Right. We could also bring back to life the girl from The Wizard of Oz.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What's her name?
She's Wendy, and she has the daughter Liza Minnelli.
Yeah.
Oh. Who plays the Wendy in Wizard of Oz? Dorothy. Wendy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know what you were talking about.
Wow.
I just assumed you know what you were talking about.
Wow, I don't know why Wendy came to my mind. Dorothy. Judy Garland. Yeah, Judy Garland.
Alright, so let's bring Judy Garland and Liza Minnelli both back. Is Liza Minnelli dead yet?
I don't know.
Let's find out. Liza Minnelli. She's a terrible actress.
Yeah, we tried to watch a movie with her in it.
Oh, it's terrible. 77 years old. She is still alive. One of the very few performers awarded a non-competitive Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. What is that? I mean, it's just an honorary one in each of those things. She was a guest star on Arrested Development.
She was hysterical on Arrested Development. Who else would we bring back? Well, we bring back Judy Garland to be with Liza Minnelli.
She collaborated with the Pet Shop Boys.
Wow.
I did not know that.
Me neither.
She played an eccentric teenager, then she played another eccentric teenager. A nude scene filmed in a cemetery brought a misdemeanor complaint by a family of those buried there, and Eliza Minnelli Bell was introduced the following year to penalize filming in Massachusetts cemeteries without permission. Huh. Arthur was a big hit.
That's the one that we tried to watch.
Yeah. But it was terrible. A lot of stuff on Liza Minnelli. Her most recent work seems to be, well, there's something here in 2019. 2022, she was presenting at the 94th Academy Awards, presented Best Picture with Lady Gaga. Good for her. So, you know, she's kept busy, that lady. Yeah, flawed.
Oh, Maud Flanders' wife. I'd bring her back.
Main difference between EHP and INFP, SI, and FE wise. What's the function to determine their positions? Well, I mean, third slot is childlike, selfish, and absolute value. Fourth slot is kind of a more mature childlike because you're more aware of your own deficits in that area. You're willing to delegate if it's possible, where it's possible. You tend to be self-deprecating in fourth slot area and or avoidant of problems that might emerge from that. You're kind of wimpy about your fourth slot. So, you know, apply those accordingly to reminder to check my mail tomorrow. Okay.
Sorry, Mr. Bobby. Didn't mean to make you feel nervous about that. There are a lot of people named Bobby. I wouldn't really worry about it.
There are, such as the Bobby that is an English policeman.
Yeah, there are lots of Bobbies as English policemen.
Ellen DeGeneres made a joke about her at the Oscars. She said, "You're the best Liza Minnelli impersonator I've ever seen. Well done, sir." That's pretty funny.
Maybe Eliza wasn't amused because she knew that Ellen was not a really good person or like as cool as everyone was making her out to be. So she's just like, you know what? I'm not gonna laugh.
Well, what do you think about Lizzo's shit?
Oh man, we were singing her praises here. I was like all about Lizzo. Like I was saying, if my boyfriend were to just say, "Oh, you remind me of Lizzo," I'd be like, "Oh, thanks. She resonates with like me so much." And turns out she's a horrible person to work with.
What do you think about bringing back Ernest from Ernest Goes to Camp?
Yes.
You were right, Mr. Bobby. You were right. You made me look into it, actually, if I remember correctly.
I saw it online and I didn't want to watch it, but I had to because I was like, oh my gosh, no way. Like Lizzo. Oh man. And it was funny because Eric knew even before I said it. I was like, guess who turns out to be like
It's because Bobby.
nice. Yeah, like we really like I really was like now you kind of like her? No way. She made some girl pee her pants because she was so afraid to confront her that she had to go to the bathroom? That's crazy.
This new movie could be called Ernest Returns from the Dead.
I think he would be down for it.
Yeah, I think so too. While we're bringing people like him back, let's bring back Don Knotts.
Yes. Let's definitely bring back Tom Knotts.
What Andy?
I like that Corey, when he was here, brought up Don Knotts.
Yeah. Ernest reconsiders his previous movie choices. No one's PayPaling anybody. I can't hope it's not true because most of the people trashing her right now for body shaming or body shaming her themselves. If Lila did this stuff, she should be held accountable. Well, I mean, I agree. If she's really like a bully and she didn't get like she's that's really anti-polar, you know. Paul Rubens, he just died. I think we should let him rest a while.
Yeah.
We could bring back Chick Hearn.
That'd be a good bring back. Can we please bring back Kurt Cobain?
Oh, might as well.
Or
He
do you
might
think
just, you never
just
know.
make the same fucking mistakes and go
Unless,
right back to her?
well, yeah, who knows? Who knows?
But then can't the same be said for River Phoenix, that he would just do this, like, and Philip Seymour Hoffman and Heath Ledger, that they would just go back to the thing that they did before and it would end up being exactly the same?
I don't know. But no, the Fly Guy and Mr. Bobby, it doesn't work like that. Sorry. It doesn't work like that anymore. No, no, no. Not that it ever did in the first place.
Yeah, let's bring back Marvin Gaye. That's a good one.
You bring back Marvin Gaye. That'd be fine.
Jesus said he was gonna come back himself. I'm still waiting. You know, I don't mind. You get to see him. That'd be cool. To bring back Jesus. But I think it'd be cooler if he just like came down from the sky and was like, I'm back!
He taps you on the shoulder that he's not behind, so you turn around to the wrong shoulder. And then you turn back and he's like, hey, what's up?
Oh my gosh.
And you just be like, Jesus, you fooled me. And he's like, yeah, I'm a bit of a joker like that. How's it going? I'm Jesus. I love you. I forgive you. Well, that'd be cool. But you probably won't have time to go say hi to everybody.
I would bring back F. Scott Fitzgerald and his wife because they died horribly and young, and I would bring them back.
Did they?
Yeah, man. I looked so like when I was in a whole rabbit hole of Great Gatsby, you saying that Fitzgerald was an INFJ made me like look him up. Fucking tragic, man. Like so sad.
Well, what did he die of?
A heart attack.
How old?
Like 20 something, I don't know, maybe 30 something. Very young, very young.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Because he was over drinking. It was really, really, really sad.
Yeah, well, Nathaniel West is another one that's really sad, the death of them. Um, he died in a car crash, 20 something.
Oh, Paul Walker.
Yeah. Well.
So we're just bringing everyone back, basically.
We're just talking about possibilities.
Okay.
Possible people could bring back.
And we can also say no to like if it's like not a good idea.
We don't really necessarily need to see more Paul Walker movies.
No. And I don't necessarily like one who's gone, but like this is gonna sound bad to some people, but like Michael Jackson.
I mean, we've had plenty of Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
We had plenty of Prince.
I feel the same way about Elvis. Like.
Yeah, we had plenty of Elvis. I think really our top three choices are going to be Marilyn Monroe, River Phoenix,
James Dean.
James Dean. If you like James Dean, he wasn't alive long.
He was good. He was really. I really enjoyed Rebel Without a Cause and like Eden, Garden of Eden, Eden of Eden, East of Eden.
East of Eden.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. He had talent. He just liked to unfortunately ride like Paul Walker, drive fast, like bad.
Well,
On that note, I would totally bring back Buddy Holly.
Oh yeah, Buddy Holly would be a good choice.
Mm-hmm.
He died in a plane crash, right?
Yeah.
Was he flying the plane?
No.
So really, it was just shitty luck.
Yeah.
That's some shitty luck. Like, that, like, there's this whole Oklahoma State basketball team died in a plane crash. Something like that.
What?
1 year, this whole Oklahoma State basketball or baseball team, I don't remember which it was. Let's see. Oklahoma State team that died in a plane crash. Let's see. 10 people associated with the Oklahoma State basketball team in 2001 died. Well, 10 people died, but not all of them were associated with the team. Only two of them were actually players. But eight people involved with Oklahoma State basketball coaches and players and stuff, and television, radio engineer, media relations coordinator, athletic trainer, director of basketball operations, sportscaster, student assistant and 2 players all died in this crash.
It's so sad.
Yeah, it was kind of a crazy story. What happened, I remember. Goodbye, Josephine.
Bye, Josephine.
This is kind of a bummer topic. I'm not going to lie. A little bit of a bummer. But, you know,
It's pretty engaging.
pretty engaging topic too. Bring back Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. How about Bambi's mom? Can we bring back Bambi's mom?
Bambi's mom is a good one to bring back. Can we bring back Nemo's mom too?
Sure. And have them co-star in a movie called Mom vs. Mom.
Mom versus mom?
Mhm.
Oh no.
It'll be an anime in which both of them are the, I should say, principal or chairperson in charge of academies developing people with different magical powers. It'll be an anime. They compete against one another. There's jutsus and all kinds of stuff.
So what cartoon character would you bring to life?
Well, maybe Boxo from I was reincarnated as a vending machine.
Oh. You think that you would be able to translate Boxo talk?
I'd learn his words. He'd teach me how to speak with him. He probably wouldn't like to live here, but he doesn't get that many people put in there. But we could have him, star in a movie. He'd come back for just that purpose. He could star in the live action film of Boxo. I watched yesterday. Rachel watched a little bit of it with me. A movie called Godzilla something or other.
Sin Godzilla.
What's it called?
S-I-N Godzilla.
S-I-N Godzilla. The thing is, what's interesting is the word in Japanese is actually Gojira. But when they say it, it sounds like Godzilla. Oh. And that's why it's called Godzilla. But it's actually called Gojira.
Gojira.
Yeah.
Oh man, Jimmy Blaze, I'm sorry to hear that. She's a tricky one.
She'll steal your voice if you're not careful, Jimmy Blaze.
Yeah, and then she'll disguise herself as an attractive woman, and she'll actually just be cruel. So that's understandable.
Who do you think would win in a fight, Ursula or Cruella?
Well, that's a good question.
Of course, the natural question is the fight on land or in water?
That's true too.
Bambi's mom's gonna win in a fight between Ursula and Cruella. I didn't know Bambi's mom was so tough.
Does she have powers, or is she Ursula wins? But she on land though. Cruella, she has a gun, I believe.
She's got a coat made out of dogs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what about Ursula versus the bad guy from Aladdin? I forget what his name is.
Oh, Raj.
Salam or something like that.
Raj is the tiger.
The bad guy is the guy with a long, thin beard. Let's look it up.
Jafar!
Jafar.
Yeah.
You think Jafar would defeat Ursula? What if they were in water?
think Ursula wins. Ursula's pretty scary.
What about Ursula versus Aquaman?
Ooh, Ursula versus Aquaman? That's a movie I would see.
Who's Rasputin?
Rasputin, like, as in, like, from Russian history? I think that Rasputin.
Well, Jafar would definitely win against Ursula in a penis having contest. Think Aquaman would win against Ursula? Is Aquaman that powerful? All you can do is call fish.
Oh, there was. What was that Disney movie? Was it The Adventurers?
The Queen from Snow White?
Oh wait, the Queen from Snow White will have a stepmother fight. Queen from Snow White or the stepmother from Cinderella? They're both stepmothers.
Okay, the Bush Stepmothers or Queen from Narnia. Do you want to let the two Disney ones team up against the Queen from Narnia? So you got your Queen from Snow White and you got your evil stepmother from Cinderella teaming up together against the Queen from Narnia. All the Queen from Snow White can do really is make poison apples. If the Queen from Narnia wants to be safe against the Queen from Snow White, she just has to avoid eating any apples. Especially if somebody comes up to her and says, "Wouldn't you like an apple? Mmm, delicious shiny apple." Then she should know. The Queen from Snow White has a magic mirror. You get a good point there.
That is a good point.
It does give her advanced intel information that she could use to get a sneak attack on the Queen from Narnia, potentially. What kind of powers does the Queen from Narnia have? Does it just making it cold?
Yeah, what does she have?
I think she mostly makes it cold. You could also throw into the mix here the Wicked Witch of, I guess, the West. Who's the one who controls the monkeys?
Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah, the West. You know, she has flying monkeys at her disposal. But she's got an incredibly exploitable weakness.
Which is what?
The Wicked Witch of the West? Getting wet with water.
Oh, yeah.
All you gotta do is pour a glass of water on her. Yeah, you make her melt. If I were putting together a team of villains, for me, if there were any chance I were going to include her, I'd have her wear a dry suit, you know, something that makes her completely waterproof. No water can be splashed on her, because otherwise.
Yeah, but that's almost like Achilles, because, like, the story of Achilles' heel is that his mom put the spell on him that he couldn't get hurt anywhere, and she dipped him in the water, but she held him by the Achilles heel.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so you know it.
I do.
So wouldn't there be some part of her that would be exposed?
Well, yeah, but I'm hard pressed to think of an equivalent where they dipped her in something that made her invulnerable to everything, but extra vulnerable to water. So much so that it makes her melt. Now it's not like Achilles' heel made him extra vulnerable there. When he got injured in his Achilles' heel, it just made him unable to walk and run around very well because
Oh,
of
I
his
thought it
heel.
killed him.
I don't think it killed him, did it? Did Achilles' heel get? Did Achilles get killed by getting shot in his heel? I'm assuming it just injured him. and then they killed him after that because it slowed him down, you know.
It's mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest one of all? Of them all.
And it says TI tool user.
Yeah, no, it's mirror, mirror, for sure. I was obsessed with Snow White when I was little. That was the first movie that I ever saw in a movie theater. And my dad always tells the story of how when he took me to see it, when it was over, I was like, again? And my dad had explained to me that like we were in a movie theater
For what movie?
for Snow White.
Oh. Well, I don't think Michelle Pfeiffer was ever in even ILF status, Mr. Bobby. She was always in no TE Dom, no status for me.
It's definitely mirror, mirror on the wall, not magic mirror. That's definitely changed. It was a magic mirror, but it's mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all. The Mandela effect is real.
Let's see. Let's Google it and find out. Is it mirror on the wall, or magic mirror?
So I remember it mirror, mirror on the wall.
Magic mirror on the wall only occurs in the Disney film Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Everywhere else, the phrase is mirror, mirror on the wall, even on it in Disney Snow White.
Wow, that's so weird.
I thought it was mirror, mirror on the wall.
Yeah.
Well, that explains why, because it occurs different. Yes.
I stand corrected.
Interesting.
Yeah, so magic mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? My bad. Didn't mean to be so.
Oh, Ruben.
Yeah, I was scared, Jimmy Blaze. I do remember being scared. So scared that, like, when we went to Disney World, the person who was in charge of the Snow White ride said for me not to go on it. This was when I was like 4 or 5. And the person who was like standing at the ticket booth for the Snow White ride said, "No, don't bring her in. She'll be scared of the witch. It's scary." So
I feel like I could maybe eat something.
okay.
I'm going to probably pick the peppers off the sandwich that I got earlier. The other half of it. It's a little spicy for me.
I didn't know Julia Roberts was in a Snow White movie. Wait, who was Snow White in that? Or was it just about the witch? I've never seen Song of the South. I can't say. Oh, it was that one with Lily Collins. I've never seen it.
super hilariously racist.
Is Arcturus part of Orion's belt, Moonfay 11? I learned something about Orion's belt and why it's the 8-8 portal. Because, like, Orion's belt in the sky in Egypt is lined up with three, lined up over the sky with 3 Egyptian pyramids. They made the pyramids there on purpose to line up with the Orion's belt in the sky. I thought that was pretty cool.
2012, huh? You mean back when Wendy's was called Dorothy's and McDonald's was called McDonald's?
McDonald's was called MacDonald's?
Rick Donald's.
Oh, Rick Donald's.
RC Donald's. Big R, little C.
Is that true, Men Like Gods? Boots constellation over the second. Oh, interesting.
The Nile mirrors the Milky Way, huh? Do you think they dug it out to purposely do that?
I also learned that Orion's belt makes like a conjunction with, Sirius makes a conjunction with Orion's belt too in the sky. It's like, here's Orion's belt, here's Sirius, and they make like a connection in the sky.
Yeah, what about that, Men Like Gods? We're in the Milky Way. Why can we even see it if we're in it? Let's look that up.
Oh. Like the Nile mirrors the Milky Way?
Like, they picked a spot of the Nile which looks the same as the Milky Way and decided to build around that spot.
Ah.
Let's see, what were we going to ask? Why can we see the Milky Way if we are in it? What we see when we look up at the night sky is a view of the Milky Way edge on from inside it, making it appear as a band of light because the galaxy is a disc-like shape. From our vantage point, we can never see the entirety of the galaxy. Well, that answers your question.
I don't think I've ever seen the Milky Way.
We could go outside and look for it.
Yeah.
We could look up into the night sky and say, "Where are you, Milky Way?"
Can you do a pull for me?
Mm-hmm.
questions about the Milky Way. Yeah, Mr. Bobby, that movie is like that.
The tower.
The tower. The Tower, the Ace of Pentacles, and the King of Cups.
Well, it was an expensive day.
Yeah, it really was.
Unexpectedly so. We had a couple of unexpected big costs. So, that's never fun.
No.
Good to know. Thank you for keeping me abreast of the intricacies of the Mandela effect, Congressman. So, it made sense that we have a bit of a experience today, a bit of a tower moment. You know.
That's why I was apologizing. Like, no, I'm so sorry. I don't even want to be reading this bill right now.
Well, here's the solution. It's got to be miserly. As we can. You know, some of those expenses are avoidable. Some of them are more frustrating than others. But that's life in the big city. Sometimes you get hit with a massive electricity bill, and a massive prescription drug bill. And you go, WTF?
Ah, I'm jumping out of a building that's on fire. I was just hit by lightning.
Yeah. You want to bring back Biggie Smalls, huh? Well, that's not a bad idea. You might as well bring back Tupac while you're at it.
Yeah, and
Ta-da! And that's how you knock over a bong. I have to go pee.
okay. And she said, hey, with a smiley face, 4:07 a.m. Booty calling me? I haven't gotten Johnny's lyrics down yet. I'm like, I'm like kind of dedicated to knowing the lyrics for some reason. Like, I really want to get them down. They're hard, they can be difficult. Because he ain't just no pop star. Sex in the City. Oh my god, that used to be like in college, that used to be my favorite show. But now I look at it now and I'm like, oh my god, like Carrie's really like, she is an anti-hero. I think she's supposed to be written that way too. But
like for so long, like women looked up to her. And then they have this like new like series that's out. It's called and like and just like that, I think is what it's called. And Samantha's not in it. And like I've heard some stuff about it. Oh, see, I learned to Sex and the City. Sex and the City is how I learned it.
They should have just called Sex in the City. We're a bunch of whores.
They weren't yeah. Okay. Sex in the City. Sex and the City. I learned to Sex and the City because I didn't like growing up. I remember watching it thinking like, oh, it's just Sex and the City. Like, it's not Sex in the City. I thought Sex in the City was a little bit more naughtier than Sex and the City, but I think I learned it. Sex and the City, but I say it now. I say it Sex in the City. Sex in the City. Oh, Boba Fett, don't be mean. She gets enough like flack as it is, and she seems like a very humble, down to earth person. I mean, again, I could be totally wrong because I thought Lizzo was like how to be it at body positivity, but she's just like a bully. So I don't know anything about Sarah Jessica Parker, but like it's not nice to say that she's a horse. Like that's not nice. Sex and as in ginger? Yeah, Sex on the City. That's the new one. That's what it was really called.
Should have sex through the city, sex between the city,
It will change from like
sex around the city.
generation to generation. Yeah, Sex in the City. It'll become that too.
That show is all about promiscuity.
Yeah, it is. And like toxic
Horrible
reasons to be.
relationships.
Yeah, terrible. I used to really like it for the I used to really like it for the fashion. I thought that like the fashion creator behind Sex and the City really had some good fashion sense. I still think she does.
Yeah, I think South Park is unfair in the dealings with her.
Yeah, it's a little bit too much.
They're bullying her, and it's not cool. And South Park gets away with a lot of shit. They walk a lot of lines correctly with a certain amount of care. They trash the right people in general, but not in that instance. I think it was mean, it was uncool, it wasn't
like maybe once.
Even then, it's like it's cheap and easy, right? It's not even funny because it's just so mean spirited and not interesting, and I don't know. I didn't like it at all.
It lacks nuance. Which
Yeah.
is good and good jokes.
And what's most important, you need a deserving victim, you know? You need somebody who's really awful if you're gonna shit on them.
Yeah.
And she doesn't seem awful to me.
No, she doesn't. Look, we're saying that now.
But we could be wrong.
Yeah.
But they didn't establish anything awful about her to shit on. Even people like Bono, they treated fairly, kind of, you know. They said, like, okay, yeah, you're great and everything, but you're just such a turd, you know.
Bono's head is so far up his ass. Like, he deserves it.
Yeah.
Is that a caterpillar on your
No,
lenses?
it's a piece of food from my sandwich.
Okay.
Big sneezes for the rare. Those are some big ones.
Yeah, they were. God bless your soul, says Black Guy.
Thanks, Fly Guy.
Douglas says, I'm not a big fan of the SCP horse comments because I hear them a lot, even from in real life friends. The D. Snyder jokes, too. That's sad. She seems like a fine person, honestly. I don't know what, I can't, it's,
I don't know what the D. Snyder jokes are.
yeah, sure, Keisha, okay, I'll hold them for you now.
Hi, Mr. Man.
Hi, Triple Bubble. I filled up your plate.
You fill up your plate with food.
Okay, Keisha. Tessa Violet, I saw on one of her shorts, was getting bullied for looking like He-Man. I don't know. It was just, she was just like, hey, so I keep on saying, you guys keep saying that I look like this, and like, can you stop that? Because I really don't need to like be hearing that right now. And I was like, yeah, you go, girl. Like, tell him.
She just said, by the power of Grayskull, I command thee.
Okay, Keisha. Ooh, what? These cards are. Oh.
What are you doing back there, Kitty? Kitty went inside the thing back there.
Keisha.
What are you doing? What are you doing, Mr. Man? Just exploring. Hello.
Okay, first card that Acacia gets is the Empress, number 3. Fertility, mother.
Okay, just gonna have a
Secure,
baby.
beautiful. Harvest. Hi, Oliver Littlehan. Oliver Littlehan. Why am I having problems speaking? Ooh, the next card you have is another major arcana. 0, the Fool. Open, venture, pure, clear, innocent, faith.
Like hams.
You're like, I'm loving life, and it opened up my eyes. I'm loving life.
I'm not sure that's how hams goes, but that's fine.
Oh no! But it ends with heartache. The 3 of Swords, grief, breakup, pain, sad, woe. So,
Well,
you start off like, I'm sitting here pretty, doing my thing. I'm a Barbie girl. Yeah, yeah. But even more than that, I'm just better than Barbie because I'm the motherfucking mother of all the cards, bitch.
is it the Empress?
Yep.
It's the Queen of Queens.
She's the queen of queens, bitch. And then you're like, la 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 la, I'm going to go off and play. And I've got my bag, which is all I care about. And there's a dog who's either jumping with me happy or trying to get up my attention that I'm going to go off, I'm near a ledge. We're not sure. But you're doing all this because in your mind you've got like 3 things that are like going over in your head that you've been disappointed about. So I'm gonna pull you another card because it's an interesting story and I don't feel like the 3 cards are enough. I identify with the Fool card a lot too, Acacia. I used to anyway. Okay, so Acacia Clarifier.
What card do you identify with more now instead of that one? Here's your clarifier. It's the 7 of Pentacles.
Oh, you just gotta wait. Your harvest, you planted some seeds, maybe like seeds of manifestation. I know I make fun of it, but I do believe in like positive thinking is a good thing. And here it's just like you need a little time and patience. And then this will have you not feeling like that anymore, and you'll start to feel like this, and then it'll go back to you feeling like Mother Nature's daughter.
Which is the female version of Mother Nature.
Yeah.
Let's return to the inside part of the house now. Charlie's going to the bathroom. He's so 30s away inside someplace. Alright.
If you take the trash out, I'll go upstairs and empty out the bags and upstairs too.
Okay. I want to watch soccer, of course. Let me see what games are on tonight. This should be like the last day of the group stage, I think. Oh, there's nothing on tonight? Huh. There's nothing on tonight and nothing on tomorrow? That sucks. It's not till Thursday at 6 p.m. The next game's on.
Wow.
Today's what day? Tuesday? Wow. It's a long time to wait for more soccer.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I will say those games this morning were disappointing to watch anyway. They weren't very entertaining. There's not really anything good on, right now. I was talking with Rachel about this before. I've watched everything that there is to watch on TV. I've watched all the Crunchyroll shows that are worth watching. Show Media wants their card.
Where's your head at? Where's your head at? Where's your head at?
so good, Carrot. We love The Nightmare Before Christmas too. We love it. That's an ENTP INFJ relationship in that movie. Jack Skellington's an ENTP, and Sally is an INFJ.
I love The Nightmare Before Christmas too, Carrot.
So do I. He does sing it, Bufo.
There are few who would deny it. What I do, I am the best, for my talents are renowned far and wide. When it comes to surprises in the moonlit night, I excel without ever even trying. With the slightest little effort of my ghost-like charms, I've seen grown men give out a shriek. With a wave of my hand and a well-placed moan, I have swept the very bravest off their feet. Yet year after year it's the same routine. I grow so weary of the sound of screams, and I, Jack, the Pumpkin King, have grown so tired of the same old thing. Oh, somewhere deep inside of these bones, an emptiness began to grow. There's something there, far from my home, a longing that I've never known. I could continue it, but I like Sally's song better, really. I sense there's something in the wind that feels like tragedy's at hand. And though I'd like to stand by him, can't shake this feeling that I have. The worst is just around the bend. And does he notice my feelings for him? And will he see how much he means to me? I think it's not to be. That one.
That's so good. You sing it so well, both of them.
Thanks, darling. I do know that movie pretty well, but I had to look up the lyrics, obviously. All right, cool, Rubenar.
Didn't he sing it so beautiful? It was.
I like that movie. I like the songs in it.
That's a good movie. Nightmare Before Christmas is a great movie. I was always a fan of it, like ever since it came out.
It's never fair, always true.
It's
Is what it's
never
called.
fair, it's always true. I hate that I'm in love with you, it's always.
We do that a lot with his lyrics, though. We mess them up a little bit, you know. Thanks, Jimmy Blaze. Yeah, well, I don't know if I may sing both those songs in the same key, but I wouldn't feel any shame over that. I had it backwards for a while. I said it's always true, never fair, and then I realized I had it backwards.
It's never fair, it's always true. I hate that I'm in love with you, it's always. I
I should sing baritone. Man, she was singing in a lower key. Well,
thought you sounded really
I
good.
probably tried to sing it as I remember hearing it, so it's probably approximately in the key that he sings it in the movie.
Yeah. Sounded good. Johnny's songs are like hard. This part of Adios that I'm trying to learn. And I have to look at the lyrics.
Sure, there's plenty of FI songs.
I feel like
I mean, it depends what you call an FI song, right? There's, good artists will make stuff that's emotionally resonant, regardless.
What Am I Made For by Billie Eilish is a very FI song. What am I made for? 'Cause I don't know how to feel.
Criminal is a very FI song.
Criminal is very FI song.
That one makes you feel dirty just listening to it.
It really does. Spacey typed Ruben R. ENFP the other day. I mean,
Well,
where's T.I. and ENFJ?
I see a lot more FE in Ruben than I do FI. Don't
I
you?
don't see any FI.
Yeah. I don't see any SI either.
Four slot. T.I.
What about the SI? I mean, I could believe the NE Dom maybe because Ruben's pretty deft with the ability to demonstrate good NE. But what about the SI? Like, where's the SI?
You used a few stock stories, but why?
He
Is he
didn't really,
pressuring
he
you?
didn't really test your SI adequately, it sounds to me like. I mean, everything you've ever said to me seems very FE to me.
I don't like.
But FI people 8/7 they can have trouble identifying at the difference between FI and FE if they're trying to make that distinction.
So you did good on your TI. So right?
Well, it's reasonable to say.
Oh, he didn't test anything. You got every TI question correct. Nice.
I mean, the thing is, if Ruben tests, I don't really remember Ruben's typing session or anything, but if he tested SI polar, he tested SI polar. The huge difference between SI polar and either SI third or even SI fourth. I mean, it's conceivable to mistake TI4 for TI7 maybe, but to mistake SI4 for SI7, I don't think so. Conscious SI is way different than unconscious SI. Well, SI third's an absolute value, so not only are they much better at it than fourth, in other words, they remember things better, more detailed and such, have more access to their own experience to include in narratives, but it's important to them, and they're kind of like childish about it, right?
Yeah, like my dad really likes when people listen to his stories.
Well, he's fourth slot like me. Well, he's kind of childish with fourth slot as well, but
Oh, he's 4 slot.
yeah.
Oh.
Unless he's really an INFP, which is not impossible.
My dad?
Yeah. He's not really that extroverted, in his affect.
It explains why, like, I don't think that we're, well,
It's hard to say. I don't know. I haven't ever really typed
he's
in.
only taken the 16 personalities test, so. Where's TI in an INFP?
8.
Oh, he could be.
I mean, the lack of SE would go well with his kind of. I mean, I don't know. You can explain it either way, really.
Well, he's, so his SI is, when he's down, is pretty bad. Like, when he was working, in the city, his SI, like, went out the window, and he would, like, take a bath. He preferred baths on, Sunday nights, and it would be after, like, maybe 2 weeks of not bathing. He
Well, it could be fourth or third. The physical aspect of it, But explain how INFPs kill on TI questions. Well, it's like you got to remember that TI is not a. The TI questions do not represent TI per se. They're a demonstrable skill that correlates very, very closely with TI, right? It's like um, TI does work that way, but because it converts so easily into a skill, it makes sense that INFPs are going to be able to demonstrate that skill potentially quite well, depending on what's rewarded around them in their particulars. They want stories of like successes and stuff to have in their SI book of self that include things like winning competitive TI question contests and stuff potentially. So the thing is, it's consistent with their fifth slot FE absolute value, third slot SI absolute value, and if they want to be good at them, their first slot FI absolute value. So INFPs can sometimes be very good at TI questions, but it's not how they naturally think or go about doing things. It's a skill you can learn more than some others, perhaps.
My dad is a teacher in accounting. If that has anything to do with anything.
It could be INFP, could be ENFP. Either way, it's a TE frame. Um, why would you say Ruben is definitely an ENFP?
INFJ. INFP.
Ruben's not TI polar, and more importantly, what you guys keep forgetting is he's not SI third.
Oh my gosh. So, oh wait, no, that's wrong.
But you're not gonna really go seek out unboxing those old photos.
So, if um
my dad's an INFP and my mom's an ESTJ, then they were relations with duality.
INFP, ESTJ.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. What makes more sense to you? You have the experience of living with them together and stuff.
Well,
And the thing is, I've never really had that many normal conversations with your dad. We've had some conflict-laden conversations. We've had some very emotional conversations. But it's hard for me to know what's going on with your dad from personal experience.
well, I'll read what quasi-identical relations is like and see, because it, like, for some reason it's extinguish if it's ENFP, and I see that in us because but it could be just that I'm thinking that.
It's in us?
In my dad and I, like I'll be like so excited about like something, and he'll be like, you won't really like. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know is the point. So
We can't say.
You know better than I.
We can't say. I can't say. I don't know. Cause I'm so introverted, like compared to him. Like he's more extroverted than I am, but I'm gonna have to ask him.
I mean, he does seem more expert than you, but that's not necessarily a very good measure.
It's not. So quasi-identical. These are relations of major misunderstandings. Quasi-identical partners can interact with each other in a more or less peaceful manner if both partners are thinking types. If they are both feeling types, however, they are likely to have an argumentative relationship. Also, as in the other relations, personal attraction can be very crucial to the peacefulness in their relationship. An absence of personal attraction can cause unnecessary internal tension, resulting in conflict between partners. Well, that's pretty true. However, these arguments do not often last long. After both partners have released their internal tension, the perceiving partner is usually the first to show the initiative in reconciliation. A positive aspect of these relations is that quasi-identical partners do not underline your weak points and therefore are not viewed as dangerous by each other. Neither do they see each other as equal. Each partner sees the other as less capable than themselves, hence less talented. However, quasi-identical mistakenly believe that their partner is achieving more than they are. This is perceived by both partners as injustice and may hinder ambitions of both. In these relations, partners always have difficulty understanding each other in full. Quasi-identical partners always need to convert each other's information in such a way that corresponds with their own understanding. This conversion requires much energy and does not bring the desired satisfaction. Books written by your quasi-identical are impossible to read. The creations of your quasi-identical look monstrous. Conversations with your quasi-identical, although not heavy, do not bring any satisfaction either. One partner may think that the other partner complicates simple things and simplifies the important points, trying to deliberately confuse and mislead them. Both partners are convinced that whatever their partner was trying to say could be explained in a different, more understandable way. Quasi-identicals normally have no difficulties in finding topics or conversations or discussion. When it comes to solving problems together, quasi-identical partners begin to understand that they are both thinking in very different ways. Soon quasi-identical, there's no question mark after that. Soon quasi-identicals may start regretting the time that they have spent together, believing it was just wasted time. Quasi-identical relations are very fragile and normally break without regret, as there is usually nothing to resist their disunion.
Well, I don't know what year Nightmare Before Christmas came out. Maybe like 99 or
I can look
something?
it up. No, it was definitely later than that. My brother was very little, and my sister and I were young too. 1993.
Oh, I said 99.
You're close.
So it was older than that.
Yeah, I was pretty
93.
young when I. Yeah, 93, because I was really young when it came out. So if I was 12. 12 when it came out.
Yeah. Well, I was 22. No, 26. You're 93. I'm 71. I was 22. So you were only.
Oh, I was younger than that then.
Yeah, you were 8.
I was 8. Oh, I really can't do math.
That's fine. Do an age group poll. How old is everybody? I'm 52, I think. Is that right?
53?
No, I think I'm 52.
52, yeah, because 71.
Yeah, and it's now 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel, I believe, is 38.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not exactly sure how old Capio is, but she's probably around 7 years old. We don't know how old so Carmen's Pam's 2 years younger than Rachel. 2.5 years.
That's cool. Okay.
Capio's 49, huh? We don't know how old Trouble is.
No.
But Capio's a very young 49. She's aged very gracefully.
Yeah. She went hunting today and brought in a lizard. Looks like she got his tail.
Yeah, got the lizard and put it back outside. But
Thank you for doing that.
of course, I feel sad when the cats get things. I don't want them to get things. You're 38, but you're 38. This is an old group here. I can't believe there's not any soccer on tonight. I don't know what I want to even do. 98's the new 88. Good to know.
I think my grandma might be around that age. She was born in 1930, so she's 93.
You're 25. Eric and Co. bring me back to the 90s in the best way. Well, I guess I have a certain 90s vibe to me. I was,
Yeah, 93.
in my 20s in the 90s. I'm Gen X. That's when Gen X was, in their 20s.
There's a bunch of movies based on like Gen X culture from like teens that age in the 90s. I love that sort of stuff. Um, and I'm glad that we bring you back to the 90s because I was growing up during the 90s. So I grew up during the 90s. So I was in Nickelodeon, Disney, and when I got into my tweens actually, maybe like, I don't know how old I was when I started watching. Probably like 98, 97.
It was weird growing up in the 70s. I went and saw Star Wars Episode 4, at the drive-in theater with my dad and my friends like 8 times or something.
Wow.
Yeah. And 70s were a weird time. Obviously I was little for most of them, but it was like the last gasp of the old days, 80s things started to change a little bit, but by the mid 80s things were a little bit, quite a bit different than they'd been in the 70s. But it was really, all of that was pre-internet age, and that was the real difference maker was the arrival of the internet, and the onset of the fully realized internet, which happened some years after the official launch of the internet. What year was it officially begun?
I'm gonna look it up.
It seems to me it's 1991.
January 1st, 1983 is considered the official birthday of the internet. On April 30th, 1993, World Wide Web was released into public domain.
All right, 93.
Yeah.
Okay, well, and from that day forward, but no more, we used to have www dot in front of things. It's short for librarian, Mr. Bobby. He's a librarian, okay? Like a lot of people these days, he's gone into the field of librarianism. Because libraries are booming. They're a booming industry. Yeah, I'm not really feeling super revved up or anything. I'm feeling kind of, I'm feeling a little disappointed about the soccer. It's a librarian who's leaved out a couple of syllables. That's all. So yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling kind of I know I got a lot of stuff to deal with, and I'm not really feeling it.
So 97, I started watching VH1 and MTV. That's when I was allowed to. Before that, I'd watched MTV, like when my parents weren't around really, and I would turn it on. But I'm the eldest of 3, so like there was a lot of Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network and Disney Channel going on. What's this? Dee 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 dee. What's this? Doo 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 doo. So good. So good.
I mean, the 70s were weird. Like, it was before the era of safety, you know.
Yeah.
There weren't helmets. Children would just be doing crazy ass shit without any kind of safety gear. You know, it was a lot less crowded back then, and children were just set loose to go make mischief as they saw fit, unsupervised, running around the streets. You know, so like me and my friends would sneak into the arboretum and catch fish, which you're definitely not supposed to do.
I feel like
We had a lot of freedom, you know. Go ahead, Rachel.
well,
Sorry.
I feel that millennials were definitely influenced by Gen Xers.
I mean, we had a lot of freedom and not a lot of supervision, though. So it's like shit was kind of crazy, you know. Kids would, kids were kind of sometimes awful to each other and sometimes did unwise things and etc. I've got, well, yeah, I've got a bad relationship with memory in general. I remember traumatic things a lot more than I remember anything else. But even the pleasant things I remember, it's not an absolute value for me. I don't take a whole lot of actual pleasure in spending time in memories, regardless of how pleasant those memories are, generally speaking. I reflect back on my childhood now as both blessed and also like way too Lord of the Flies. And just, and I really think that just the world in general prior to the internet was inherently more barbaric because people couldn't communicate, you know. We should put the bodies in the ocean. I don't know what you're talking about, but
After watching Naked and Afraid Castaways, I feel like we shouldn't put anything in the ocean.
yeah. Well, crime's gone down by and large, keeping in pace with the amount of lead in the atmosphere. But there's been somewhat of an uptick in recent years. Uh, Poor public policies have strained the population and the economy more than would be normal. We should make stronger submersibles and live in the ocean. That sounds boring. Do you want to live in the ocean? Oh, we saw it already. We've already seen a Rubenar. Yeah, we see him already. He's kicking ass already in week two. We've watched the first two
Yeah,
episodes of it.
yeah. I've been meaning to tell you that we've been watching it and we saw your friend in it.
Yeah.
He's like kicking ass. They just got fired.
We got a pelican
They got a pelican, and
that was injured, and they found it, and
yeah, and he said that he
he
got
got all
emotional.
emotional, killing it and stuff. And he seems like a good guy.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's got a great attitude. He's a great partner too. Although I gotta say, most badass guy on the show, biggest badass has got to be Bulent. Not your friends. Your friend's a real badass in every sense of the word. Don't get me wrong. But Bulent's a badass with like not even a shred of sensitive side to him. He's tough as fuck.
Yeah. I could see him as a pilot, and I'm glad he's a pilot.
Well, I think Bulent got a little emotional killing that armadillo too, but um, he's just hard as nails. That guy, and he's not. And he says like one of his concerns is he likes to complain about millennials.
Yeah.
Oh well, sorry to spoiler alert you. Anyway, it's a good season so far. I don't think it's quite as compelling as so far as Naked and Afraid, Last One Standing, which was just like mind blowing.
It was mind blowing until the very end when I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's three fire things. Waz is gonna kill it."
Right. Well, I don't think we really wanted Waz to win, but
We didn't, and then when I heard that when we saw that it was gonna be three fire, having to light three things on fire, I was like, "It's over. Dan can't win that.
yeah, Dan's not gonna beat.
Waz at fire."
That fire challenge knocked all of them on their
Man.
asses.
That was emotional.
Yeah, it was. It was intense. That's all I want from life is more good TV, really. I feel sad about having exhausted all the TV that's worth watching.
Hmm.
I go to the TV and I just like, there's nothing.
Well, yeah, not anymore. Because I don't know if there's a second season of that chess game one, Queen's Gambit, I liked.
I like that too. I wouldn't mind watching another season of that. There might be something else good. We could do a little research. You watch Big Brother?
I did last year. I haven't watched this year. I haven't watched Love Island either. I know that Love Island is back too. I watched Love Island last year as well.
Hmm.
Love Island is just straight up cray.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ursula and I are very fortunate. We talk about it often, actually. It seems very few people end up in really the right relationship. And it's questionable as to whether being in a sort of okay relationship is preferable to being alone. That's kind of a toss up. It's like Rachel and I genuinely feel like I think pretty continually thrilled to be with one another.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's very common. We don't like nip at each other. We don't speak harshly to each other.
No.
Well, there's another Berenstein Bear Mandela effect on the Netherlands soccer team. Her name's Berenstein. She spells it yet a different way, and she looks just like Sister Bear. Meow. Meow.
So like someone on the Socionics Reddit was saying that intertype relations is the reason why most people get into
socionics, and I would definitely agree with that. I mean, I read socionic stuff for intertype relations mostly.
Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff on there that seems quite accurate to me. But there are some situations with it, problems with it, that link up to there not necessarily being equivalencies between judges and perceivers that are treated as equivalent but have a lack of equivalency. But, that's just life in the big city. Socionics, at least, is being more informative about intertype relations really than anybody else, and um, at least it's informative about something specific, right? Like, it's an area where you can actually sort of verify the typology is meaningful if you can get the types right to begin with, because you'll see in most of those type relations are pretty accurate, their descriptions of them.
I'm intrigued with the idea of my dad being an INFP. It would make sense, like his music taste.
If all bufos are peregrines and I'm a peregrine, am I necessarily a bufo? No, not necessarily.
So if my dad is an INFP
Mm-hmm.
and he's with an ESFJ, it's an illusionary. He's also gotten a mirage relationship with Trish.
Huh.
Yeah.
Of course, they'd be judges, so it would be a different kind of relationship, right? Because it wouldn't have first, fifth flipped. They'd have second, fifth on one hand, and it's not the same relationship as we have structurally.
No.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Let's not start a fight. Karma's Pimp's feeling fighty.
Happens to the best of us. What are you feeling fighty about?
He's feeling fighty with Bobby, I guess. Yeah, that's what they say. Karma is a bee.
Oh yeah,
They do say that
they do.
in the Book of Sayings. Well, I guess I'm gonna draw this one to a close here. What do you think?
Up to you.
I kind of feel like I'm out of stuff to say. I maybe want to watch a little television and maybe clean a little bit.
Okay.
It's conceivable that I might live stream again later. So anyway, we're gonna call it a night. Thanks all for being here. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese. We love you. We'll talk to you later. We appreciate having your company.